I went from not knowing what I was going to do with my life at all, not having true like passion in anything I did besides soccer and video games, to getting paid for doing something I love. Like I truly do enjoy. Like I like talking to people. I've always been super outgoing, communicative. Like, what's up guys, Cole here. Gonna be doing a Q&A video. It is 6:12 a.m. so I'm gonna be a little bit more quiet than normal probably. I think, you know, feel free to drop a like before we get going, just to help me out. It helps me a ton. All right, so like I said, first question from Manu: what inspires you to keep streaming every day? What is your go-to thing that motivates you to keep going? So for me, I think it's almost like less what inspires me, and more so like it's not that something really inspires me to keep streaming. It's like it's the thought that I could be a failure. It's like the thought, the lingering like potential of failure is worse than not being successful for me. Like I don't want to be seen as a failure. I don't want to have nothing to fall back on. I want to be successful at what I'm doing, so I'm going to put 100% into it. So I get up every day and I know I'm going to stream, and I tell myself I'm going to go live, and I just do it. It has nothing. Some days are harder than others. Some days you get up and you just don't want to stream. Some days you get up and you do want to stream, you know? Like it's a mix. Some days when you don't want to stream, sometimes going live is the hardest part. Like pressing the go live button is the hardest part by far. Like, of course, go figure. And what motivates me to keep streaming, keep going, is just the fear of failure. You know what I mean? I don't want to be seen as a failure. I want to be successful doing something I enjoy, not having to go back to something I don't enjoy, you know? All right, next question from Tom. Tom's one of my mods in stream. He's the homie. This is gonna be a good question, I know. He said, Co1azo, I always type this in chat. I always see this typed in chat. What is your most sincere and the best tip you can give people who are trying to follow your steps? I do get asked that question a ton on stream, 100%, a ton. My biggest tip to be successful or like to try to follow my steps is like, just do it because you enjoy it, and do it, put 100% into it. Because if you don't put 100% into it, like, I think there are ways to be casual with it. Like you could start as a hobby, and if it starts growing, it's very difficult to start a stream in the first place. You have to either be really good at the game you're playing or the games you're playing, or super entertaining. If you're both, that's just a plus. It's a win-win. But it is really difficult to get people to watch you. And I stream hours and hours and hours a day for the last 2.5 years, and it's really tough. So like when you get your opportunity to stream and just to be live, if you're not doing anything, just go live and stream to fill that gap. Some people say get on a schedule. I don't think it matters that much. I think it could help if you have a schedule, but if you're doing it as a part-time thing on the side of like working a job or going to school, it's gonna be a lot harder to grow in that 2-hour window. So like for me, it's like put 100% into it. I'm fortunate enough to have the potential to put 100% in. Like my family supports it right now, like more than ever, especially because I'm finally like growing, and they see obviously income is huge. But before that point, it's very difficult to keep going. I would just say, just stick with it, keep going, do not stop, and keep pushing yourself. Like put out stuff that you think is something that people would want to watch, you know? Third question is from VSB Grandma, Drake's best friend.
Yeah, Drake! Drake!
Co1azo, how much of your success do you attribute to playing with Wigs? As you guys may or may not know, Wigs was my duo for about a year. He's the king. I mean, he's probably he's the reason that got me into scrimming and really competing. Because before him, I don't know if I was scrimming or not. I don't really remember. I just remember we played a couple bot races back in the day, like kill races, and we played it like one together, and we did all right. We got scammed or whatever, and then he needed a duo, and I knew he did very well in the Winter Royale, and I was like, this kid's very good. He was the only console player to qual outside in the Winter Royale, and it was all PC players, 199 PC players. He was the only person on console held back, and he still did it. So I knew he was good at the game. I was pretty much asking him to be my duo like crazy, and he picked me up. We played for a little bit, and it stuck. We stuck. We're close, still friends to this day. I mean, we talk like pretty much every day. And if it weren't for him, I definitely wouldn't be as good as I am now. He showed me a lot of things about the game that I didn't know. He's the reason I scrimmed it first. And I mean, I wasn't gonna answer that question serious when I decided to put it in the video, but now I think about it, probably a lot of my success is because I played with him, and like he was such an entertaining personality. People liked watching us, you know. So Teats, there's your answer. How about that? Next question, fourth question, is from Jacob. He said, Co1azo, why did you quit collegiate soccer for gaming, and how did your parents react? I play soccer and I love gaming, and I'm genuinely wondering. For those of you that don't know, I went to, sorry if I'm not like looking at the camera necessarily when I talk, like I'm kind of looking at the question so I can like read it over if I have to, so I don't stutter too bad. For those of you who don't know, I went to a Penn State campus called Berks for 2 years, and I played soccer Division III in college, and I played soccer my whole life. Soccer was my entire life. Since I was like 4 or 5, 6. I've been watching, playing literally my entire life. And after 2 years, it kind of just became almost like a chore. Like I was practicing daily, twice a day sometimes, and it went from going to school to play soccer and I just realized all I ever really cared about in my life was soccer, video games, and that was like it. Those were the two main passions I had in my life. And when soccer slowly, Division 3, it slowly faded out. It was like I love it still to this day even, but it was all I ever did back then. But like it just changed. I mean, I play video games all the time. I found myself coming home from practice, and instead of doing my homework, I'd be playing video games, which is a huge issue. Don't be like me, but like that's what I did, and I knew how much I loved it. And why not do something you love and make money for it? I wasn't going to get paid as much for soccer. I wasn't going to be able to get paid from soccer really, because I wasn't going to go pro or anything. I don't think. Like, would have been a lot of hard work and a couple more years before I would have even begun to start even thinking about getting to that level. So I mean, for me, video games was the clear thing that I thought I could do. My friends convinced me to do it. That was the transition. It was hard, very hard for my parents, I'm sure at the time, like seeing their son go from soccer all day every day, like the only thing he really wanted to do for his life, to hard switch to video games. So it's probably very tough. Transition was not easy. Next question is from Nana. Don't even pronounce it. Take that out of the video, TDH, because what the hell did I just say? What would you be doing in this very moment if you weren't a Fortnite pro / streamer? For me, honestly, like I don't know. Like I said, I went to college. I was never really super keen on doing anything specific in particular. Like I didn't love any of my classes. I wasn't like super into them. A few of them I can get into more than others, but I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life. I was going to school pretty much for soccer. Like I got into the school because of soccer. I was playing soccer twice a day. I'd go to practice. I'd play in between a little bit, and I'd play video games in between. I honestly could not tell you what I'd be doing right now. I'd probably be getting a degree in something that I may never end up using. I'd probably be graduating. My friends graduated college. My friends graduated college this a few months ago, which is where I'd probably be, or I'd probably be doing my 5th year. And honestly, I just think it wouldn't have been worth it for me to graduate, getting a degree, spending twice as much in debt with 4 years complete instead of 2, just to do something I don't care about. You know what I mean? Like just to do something I'm not happy with. So I honestly don't know. To answer your question, I don't know what I'd be doing right now if I wasn't a pro player / streamer. I'd probably be trying to figure out what I want to do for my life, or still playing soccer at a higher level than I was before. I always just kept getting better, but it's tough. Next question is from one of my mods in stream again, Megan. At Co1azo, would you ever do a fan meetup post-COVID? Of course I would. I would love to. Not necessarily. I feel like a fan meetup is one thing you do way in the future when you're really big. It'd be hard to get a lot of people. I'd have like 2 people come probably. Like realistically, I probably wouldn't have a lot of people come at all. But I mean, I would love to do a fan meetup. Like that'd be super cool. Like I feel like TwitchCon would be like one of the best places to do that something like that if it didn't get canceled this year, which I'm pretty sure it did. I would definitely do a fan meetup, whether it be TwitchCon or a Fortnite event. I would love to tweet. I'd be like, come meet me here if you watch my streams and you like me, and we could talk. I could buy everyone food. Like that'd be so cool. I would love that. A couple people came up to me at the World Cup. Now that I think about it, only a few. But it was way different back then. I was much smaller, which is crazy to even think about. People knew me back then. I can't even imagine what it'd be like now. You guys are. Next question is from It's Fonzarelli. Fonz, the king. At Co1azo, you've been grinding for just over 2 years now. It's been about 2.5. How does it feel that you've come this far and starting to become successful at it? Like truly feel. How does it truly feel? Like genuinely, I said it before in a few other questions. Like it's literally like mind blowing. It's like I went from not knowing what I was gonna do with my life at all, not having true like passion in anything I did besides soccer and video games, to getting paid for doing something I love. Like I truly do enjoy. Like I like talking to people. I've always been super outgoing, communicative, like enjoy talking to people, having good conversations more than almost anything. And like to make a living out of that mixed with playing video games, which is something I just do on the side of talking to people almost, is like the coolest thing for me. Like it's really cool to finally see some success after grinding it. And like up until like 6-7 months ago, like around like March is like where it started popping off like crazy. February, March like of this year, means I streamed for about 2 years before anything really happened. Like I was getting like 75 viewers after about 2 years of streaming, and then out of nowhere it blew up. Like and there's still way more to go. Like I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm gonna keep grinding it. Like it is a crazy feeling being able to support myself and live off this money, and have my parents say to me like, hey, we're proud of what you're doing. Like it's really great. And like hearing that for the first time from them was unreal. Honestly, it was actually crazy. Next question's from Zunies, the boy. At Co1azo, what controller do you use? Obviously this question was just like, he said he threw it in there as a joke, but it is a great question because I get asked this question 100 times a day. I use this question just because I thought it was funny. It's because of my friend, but like it is a question that is asked a lot. I use the Scuff Impact. This is the current one I use. Scuff is great. I mean, they send me controllers now. It's so cool. Like I do not use an Xbox controller, even though my overlay on stream on Fortnite shows Xbox. It's just set to that because I heard it gives you less input delay. but I do use a PS4 controller. I used to use like an Elite for like a few years. It was my first Scuff. I used a Strike Pack when I first switched to PS4 before my Scuff came, and then I use a Scuff Impact. This question's from Lucas Muller, sorry. At Co1azo, who had the biggest influence and inspired you to start streaming and playing video games competitively? Wow, I thought this was going to be a really easy question to answer when I picked it, but now that I'm reading this, I have a few answers. I think Nick Merckx was like is number one without a doubt, like top of the top. Like that dude inspired me to, because for some reason I only thought he'd be the thing, he'd be the answer. That dude inspired me to stream, absolutely. Like there's no one else that really got me wanting to stream besides my friends who told me I should stream. Obviously they're huge and I'm gonna give them a shout out in a minute, but like Nick Merckx for me was like the guy. Like in my college dorm, I downloaded Twitch to watch him on stream because I didn't understand what anything was. I didn't really watch Twitch. I grinded Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered when it came out a few years ago, right with IW, because that was the game I played. I like the boots on the ground, older COD feel. Nick Merckx grinded those tourneys. I watched his stream every night. He had like 2,000-3,000 viewers, a couple thousand subs. He was, and like, bro, honestly, it was crazy watching those streams. Like I would pull up his stream every single night, like clockwork, and I'd go in from when his Noti came on my phone, and I'd be in there all night watching it, and I'd watch them grind wagers, and I'd watch them grind tourneys. Neo and Nick Neo engage. Like it was so cool, and that's what got me into Twitch. I think that's the only streamer. Nick Merckx is literally the only streamer I think I watched for years, and then I started streaming myself because my friends told me they thought I was good at Fortnite, and they were like, people would watch you play, and you're good personality. Like you like talking to people, you can keep a conversation going well, and you're good at the game. Like you should stream. My friend Matt and Connor are the ones I have to hear your name. Matt, Connor, Harry, Zach, Brian, like any of you guys, man. I'm sure there's more. They really said I should stream, and because of them I did it, and they supported me the entire time. I love them, man. Great people, seriously. Little side answer to that question too is, besides my friends and Nick Merckx, I think Nick Merckx was more of the competitive later on, but like in video games, like inspired me to start playing competitively. It might have been someone like Scump. Like I used to play when I was 11 years old when Black Ops 1 came out. Like I was in Nade Shot. Like I was grinding GBs and like game battles, if you know what those are, like competitive matches when I was 11 years old playing Call of Duty Black Ops 1. That game's my favorite game of all time, by the way. Like love that game. This one's from Lexi's, biggest Wigs fan of all time. Love Lexi's. At Co1azo, are you going to get a house soon? And if so, which people in the community? So I don't exactly know who would be in it. I do plan on getting a house soon, whether a house or an apartment in Virginia. That'd be great. We can get 0 ping. I know I already have great ping because I'm in PA, but then the content opportunities there are great. Like I'm sure you guys would love to see more videos with like me, Vinny, Diggy, Teets, AV, Assault, anyone in Virginia. Like there's so many great people in Virginia that I'm sure you guys would really like to see content with. I think it'd be great moving out there. I think it'd be a great experience for me getting out of the house. Lived with my parents my whole life. I moved out for a few years for college, but I came back. I've been living here for the last 2 years, so I would love to get out again and be able to go do things with my friends and the people I'm in the same community with, you know? Good question though. Next question's from 1% Bink. Do you think controller is still OP or is in a good spot right now? So this is my first Fortnite related question specifically. I think it's fine, to be honest. I think we have our advantages, we have our disadvantages. I think in a box right now, we're slightly more capable of like hitting our shots consistently, even though the top keyboarders are extremely good at that and they don't miss. We're just more likely to hit more of our like AR or sub shots. Just that's about it. But with keyboard, obviously they have scroll wheel, like that's super great for them too. Like we have our advantages and disadvantages. I think controller's fine right now. I really do. I think keyboard, if anything, is still at an advantage right now. This question's from Era. At Co1azo, what is your logo? So my logo is right here. It's beautiful. I love it. I love the neon. It's not flashing like it looks like that. It's just steady green in real life. So it's weird that the camera shows it doing that weird pulsing effect. But my logo, for anyone that doesn't understand, my brother made this little 3D print thing. I can show you guys a little bit easier. It's just a C for Co1azo. Cole. It's literally a C. It's not anything crazy. The whole thing is a C. Some people struggle to see it. I really don't believe it's that hard. That's it. All right, last question. This is from Snow. At Co1azo, how do you stay motivated to stream and play comp even when the game gets boring / bad? Which is a great question, and it makes me want to play other games right now. There's other games I watch my friends play all the time, and I think, why don't I do that? But I'm too dedicated to Fortnite right now, which is a bad habit of mine. I think I get too attached to something and can't give it up. I don't know how I stay motivated to stream and play. I think it's just, like I said from my first question, I'm pretty sure it's my first question in the video, I am afraid to fail. I don't want to stop and slow down and cancel any momentum I currently have. So I want to keep going. I don't want to just stop and, you know, like I said, cancel the momentum. So I think even when the game gets boring bad, it's still better than a 9-to-5 job. Think of it like that. Like it's better than something that you don't want to do that you can get paid for. If I'm still playing and if I'm streaming, like For me, flicking on the stream is not that difficult anymore. For some reason, it used to be so hard. I would sit here for hours and procrastinate and not press the go live button. And I just kept telling myself the hardest part is going live. So I would do it. I'd sit here, and instead of sitting here for hours, I would press go live, and I would go live, and I'd be live. And I put some music on, I'd talk to the people that came in. That was it. I stream for my community more than I stream to play the game. I love the game. Still, to me, like the most fun, but I do want to play other games. So please feel free to drop other games you'd like to see me play down below. Obviously, I'm going to try my best. I think that's it, though. I think that's it for all the questions. If you guys enjoyed this video, man, feel free to leave a like. Please drop a sub. It helps a ton. We're already at 20K. TDH took over the YouTube a few months ago. We were at like 4K. 4K, 5K maybe, and we're at 20K already, almost 21,000, which is unreal. I think we can hit 100,000 by the end of this year, which is a lot to ask, but I think it's doable. The channel's been growing like crazy. Like I said, if you enjoyed, please leave a like, drop a sub, helps a ton. I mean, leave comments on what content videos you would like to see me record off stream, because like I said, I'm not very great at recording stuff off stream. This is probably my 4th or 5th thing. I've been doing intros for other videos recently. If you guys haven't checked those out, they're great. I've been recording off stream a little bit and really trying to get into the habit of being a content creator on top of me just competing. Like, I want to give you guys stuff that you guys are going to want to watch, you know? So leave comments below, please, as many as possible, just telling me what you'd like to see, what content videos you'd like to see, entertaining things you'd like to see, and I will try to record them either on stream or off stream. You know, have a good rest of your day. I will be back with another video in a few days probably, or live on my stream every day.